I suspect there are a number of people here for dogs. A couple of people, let's see what we have to do. We have a public hearing open. I don't think that we have any formalities that we need to address. So, yes, there are a couple of people who signed in, however, unnecessarily for this session, and since they were kind enough to do that, I'm going to call them first. John Hunt.
Thank you, Mayor Cohen, for my misunderstanding signing in. Anyway, good evening. My name is John Hunt. I am a 28-year Rye resident and an active user of Rye Town Park for the past 9 years that the off-leash hours have been allowed. In fact, prior to that time, I was seldom in the park. I'm here tonight to advocate for extending the hours to 10 a.m. during the off-season. In the council meeting on August 6th, there were numerous references to lack of enforcement. However, this is not true during the morning hours. At 9 a.m. every day, Ranger Pete dutifully rides his cart through the park to remind everyone to leash their dogs if they have not done so already. The unfortunate result of this is that practically everyone considers this to be the end of their time in the park and proceeds to go home, leaving our beautiful park essentially empty. During the off-season, this is even more pronounced as there are very few, if any, casual non-dog walkers. Thus, one of our best city resources is vastly underutilized and appreciated. Over my years of off-leash dog play, I have become a part of a very nice community of people who enjoy gathering to get to know each other, share stories about their lives, and generally enjoy being part of the community. I believe it's important for the council to understand that the off-leash park hours are as much for the people as for the dogs. And parents who have school drop-off obligations, are frequently cut short or unable to use the park when their time allows. Another point raised in the August 6th meeting was the need for maintenance of holes and bare spots caused by the dogs and owners who walk on the grass. Dog owners in the past have participated in volunteer maintenance days, and I'm sure they would continue to do so in the future. Other issues were raised in the previous council meeting, and I agree those issues should be dealt with at some point. However, today's request is simple and separate from those issues. Please vote to extend the hours by 1 hour during the off-season so that more people have the opportunity to be a part of the community that regularly uses and enjoys the park. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. William Daly.
I know I did not give this to the AV team, but I thought it might help to see what a fairly robust morning could be in terms of attendance at the dog park, of people with their dogs off leash enjoying and each other's company, and not just the dogs enjoying everybody else's company. My name is William Daly. I'm a 23-year resident and counting of the city of Rye. I've had a dog for most of those years and have used the park with the dog for most of those years, sometimes off leash, other times on leash when I have to. I disagree with the logic, as Mr. Hunt already spoke about the stopping an extension to 10 o'clock in the morning because of enforcement issues. If some cars are speeding, does driving get prohibited? If a bank defrauds customers, do we shutter financial markets? I'm always at the park from 8:30 to 9 a.m. typically. And typically there's about 20 dog owners there on the weekdays and upwards of 40 or more on the weekends. It's a real treasure for Rye, and as John already alluded to, it's a social network for the people as much as it is for the dogs. I second what John said, that I've never seen any park goers there setting up on the lawn at 9 or 9:30 or 10. Even on the hottest summer days, including on the weekend days, including in July and August. At 9 o'clock, when Ranger Pete comes out and very gruffly tells us his suggestion, I guess, because he has no enforcement authority, as I found out checking out last month's meeting, his suggestion that we all put our dogs on the leash is very serious, and all the dog owners comply, and we leave. But even beyond that, even without him on his days off showing up and being there to move everybody along, I've always seen people basically very well trained about putting their dogs on leashes and leaving more or less at 9 o'clock, just typically maybe 5 or 10 minutes after 9, if not exactly at 9. Also, I think it's noteworthy to say that the current scourge of the park is not nearly dog waste, or even, I would suggest, the holes that some dogs do unfortunately dig that we try to stop them from doing. It is the waste from Canadian geese and especially the deer. Any dog owner here can tell you how problematic it can get when the dogs think they have a buffet available to them on the open grass. So I would suggest that net, the dogs being off leash in the park for yet one more hour would benefit the park, because they would limit those wild animals from defecating on the open grassland that the park goers otherwise wish to enjoy. And in fact, we just heard today that in Mamaroneck there was a dog that was a local dog that was going to be retained or hired for trying to clear that park down there, maybe Harbor Park, I forget which one, of the Canadian geese that do their business on that park. And so now there's actually, an idea that maybe that's something that Rye Town Park Commission should consider. Maybe not all dogs, obviously, but, of some certain dogs, maybe give them special badges,
Auditions.
Deputy
They have to
Drupal.
try out.
Yeah, some tryouts, auditions, exactly. I realize that Playland Beach is also quite a convenient option from roughly early October to sometime in late April, but getting wet sand off dogs is a consequence not faced by those who go to Rye Town Park for their dogs. I can tell you, as I sit here, we have several people here in support of this change of the law. I will tell you that there's well over at least 10 other dog owners that I've specifically spoken with about this issue. It was mostly moms who could not be here this evening because they are busy tending to their children and other commitments, which is one of the reasons they have a hard time utilizing the park in the morning, because the local schools, typically the grammar schools, elementary schools, 8:35, 8:40, 8:45 is when you're supposed to get your child in there. It seems to have changed recently. I live across from Milton School, so I'm not too sure what the time is, but that's the general idea. It's really hard for them to then get to the park in time to have any sort of meaningful time for their dog to run around and for them to be there with their friends. But the ones who I was able to speak with said they all told me to convey their very strong support for this extension to 10 a.m. for dogs off leash. Now, I realize that this, finally, my final point is that I realize that the proposed law is only for the off summer hours from maybe October to perhaps April. I'm really not even too sure. I would submit to you that there are alternatives out there if you look around our metropolitan area as to what some other places do. I know that as in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where I happened to visit recently, they have a very large, wide-open public beach that dogs are permitted off-leash during the summer from 6 p.m. until 8:30 a.m. And then, of course, at 8:30, the beachgoers start to arrive for summer hours on the beach in New Jersey, and so then, okay, you got to leash your dogs again. But it's just an idea that there can be creative thinking here to maybe perhaps expand the hours even more or differently than we are currently proposing right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, you'd like to speak? Please come up and state your name.
John Linder. I live at Water's Edge in Rye. I access the park maybe 4 or 5 times a day. And leash or off leash, I've never been bothered. I went to the Rye Town Commission to complain about the goose poop. And basically, they listened and did nothing. It's a health hazard. You guys don't control it. They do. But there's no pressure to put those geese somewhere else. There are ways you can discourage the geese. One is keep the park open till 10:30. That's a start. There are other things that I think you could do to discourage the geese. And I've mentioned it to Russ. And maybe, I don't know if you can do anything, if you put the little shiny spinners around the pond. That'll keep the geese away. They don't like that.
Thank you.
That's my suggestion.
Thank you.
Others who'd like to speak on dogs,
I didn't know it. You okay?
Come on
please. Just state your name when you get to the microphone, please.
I'm Randy Stone. I live on Park Avenue. I've been through 2 dogs. In Rye Town, going to Rye Town Park with the dogs was special for them, and it's sure been special for me. I've met some of the nicest people. I think people who have dogs who take them to Rye Town Park are some of the luckiest people in the world, to steal from an old song. But there's so many. There's just something really special about the park. And in fact, after we lost Duncan, he died. He was only 7.5. And I was, we wanted to do something for him. You know what it's like when you have a dog and you lose the dog. I'm like, what about, we've made all these new friends, like at the park. And we had everybody come over to our house, like for Duncan. And it was just great.
Like a celebration of life.
It was a celebration of life for Duncan,
Aww.
I look out at the people that I've met right here in this audience, it's been fantastic. So yeah, it's like John and Bill both said, it's as much for the people as it is for the dogs. So I know Duncan loved it, and I know Roscoe loves it now, but I love it too. And it's just, there are not that many places anymore where people and communities just kind of connect naturally without saying like, oh, let's have lunch or just do that. But it happens, and the dogs give you a great excuse, and it's good for both dogs and people. So doing it till 10 would make it twice. Something that's so special would make it twice as
Keep
special.
the party going. That's great.
Yeah,
So,
thank
you.
My dog died on... I just want to say something to you. My dog, who's been going to Rye Town Park for 15 years, died on Sunday. So your words had a lot of meaning for me, so thank you for coming up here. It's just really beautiful.
Can I make a motion to make this happen?
Second.
Motion to close the...
Oh, a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Do we have
All
to?
in favor?
Aye. Motion to approve the extension of hours.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Cunningham?
Yes.
Councilman Henderson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nathan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Souza?
Yes.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
Mayor Cohn?
Yes.
Yay, one more hour.
Might have to get a dog.
Over there.
They're just too busy. I have an extra one if you...
Do that.
A loner dog. A loner dog. There we go.